Hi YouTube, it's Mama Doe John and Baby Fun Charlotte, and today we are talking about why I continue to use credit cards even when I am on my debt-free journey. I am mostly following the Dave Ramsey plan, and Dave Ramsey preaches to get rid of all your credit cards, and that is not what I do. So I want to talk about why I am not doing that. The common method most YouTubers use that I've noticed is the cash envelope method, and that is basically where you take out cash, you divvy it up into specific envelopes that you're going to use throughout the month, and then once that cash is gone, you are done. I do not do that, and that is because cash for me has always been a gift. As a child, I got cash as a gift, and I immediately ran out to spend it. I am a very unconscious spender when it comes to cash. If I have cash in my pocket, I feel like I need to burn it. I need to get rid of it. I will spontaneously buy things if I have cash because I'm like, oh, I have cash, I can get it. Whereas with a card, I'm a lot more conscious because I know that I'm going to have that tracked. I will be able to see whatever I purchased for the next year. It is going to be documented in my credit card history. So having that accountability of knowing that I have to see what I purchased instead of just spending cash and, oh, it's gone, I never have to look at it again. Being able to really track that progress actually keeps me more accountable. Whereas with the cash, I'm way more likely to just run out and spend it. I'm just kind of an airhead with a lot of things. Like, I'm very absent-minded. I forget things really quickly. As a mom, a lot of my attention and memory goes to my child, and the rest is out the door. So having that tracking of the credit card, I can see when I spent money, where I spent money, how much money I spent. All of that is easily documented. That works out well for me because I can remember things. I can budget things appropriately. I can look back and truly track my spending a lot easier than I could with cash, where I feel like I would have trouble documenting that. I do realize that you could do this with a debit card, but I do use credit card. Charlotte is not having this video stuff today. I do have multiple different credit cards. I pay them all off when I use them. And then I have one that I am still paying down that was debt, that did have like a fairly large amount of debt on, and it does get paid down more and more each month. The balance never stays higher than it was the month before. So that shows that I am continuing to pay debt. It's not just racking up because I continue to use credit cards. My overall debt is continuing to decrease, and I do track my spending very carefully. I write down everything that I spend when I look back on my credit card reports to see what I have spent. I'm so sorry about my kiddo. She's having fun today, which is good, but when Mama's got a headache and she's trying to get videos done, not a fun thing to deal with. So I do still really strictly stick to a budget, and I use my credit cards very carefully. I have never been like a willy-nilly spender where I go out and just stupidly blow money. A lot of my debt was racked up from moving costs, things associated with the debt, things associated with having a child and running my own business, and just investing a little more than I could probably handle. The reason that I use credit cards instead of debit cards is that I can rack up rewards, and I do use those rewards. You'll see in my budget videos every single month. Those rewards help me purchase a variety of things, from groceries to coffee to special holiday items and such for Charlotte. So those do pay off for me. Sometimes that cash back just goes directly back to helping pay off debt, but other times it helps reduce overall costs that I would be spending. So I can continue to put more money towards debt. So those rewards add up, and especially with my business expenses where I'm spending $3,000 to $4,000 a month through credit cards, my rewards rack up really fast, and over a couple months I can rack up $100 to $200 in rewards, which really does pay off drastically for me in the long run. The last reason I use credit cards, especially for my business expenses, is that it allows me to document all my tax deductions. If you use a credit card or a debit card to purchase items through your business, that counts as a receipt. Your credit card statement does, because it says the amount, it says who it was paid to, and it says the date it was paid. So that is just basically a really easy way for me to keep track of all my tax deductions throughout the year, specifically for my business, with the credit cards that I use for my business expenses. The real reason I continue to use credit cards is that it works for me. Every month my debt is getting reduced, including my credit card debt. I am very carefully tracking my expenses. You can see my budgets. You can see what I spend each month. You can see that I try really hard to not overspend, and my budgets are really low for a lot of things. And I am not just going out and spending money like a drunken sailor. Like, I'm not just buying things that I want, and I'm not using card as plastic. I'm using the card as cash. And I realize that it is actual money that I'm going to have to pay back. So it is all carefully budgeted and tracked, and it works for me. The rewards really help me. And it's just something that I feel has been an asset to me. I'm not saying that would work for everyone, and I'm not saying that I condone the use of credit cards for everyone. I realize for some people it just doesn't work like that, but for me it does, and to each their own, right? I do have comments occasionally from people who feel like it's really stupid of me to use credit cards, and I respect that. I totally respect your opinion, and I realize where you're coming from, and for a lot of people it would be a really stupid decision. But I just have to do what works for me, and I try to be really careful with it. If it ever becomes a problem where I am overspending, or I feel like it's acting adversely to helping me get out of debt, then I will reevaluate at that point in time. But right now, it's what works for me. So it's what I'm doing, and I'm sticking to that because my debt is getting reduced. And as long as my debt continues to get reduced, I feel like I am winning in this debt-free journey. So yeah, that's about my reasoning for using my credit card still, which is a point of contention for many people in the debt-free community. But if you still use credit cards, I'd love to hear in the comment section why you guys do. And if you use the cash method, awesome, kudos to you. I know why you use it. It's easy to track. It's an awesome system. I think it's a great way for a lot of people to really get in control of their finances. Nothing against it at all. It's just not what worked for me. So yeah, as always guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.